Okay, guys, welcome to Worship Media once more. Today, we're looking at the democracy uh, day bill that's just been signed by the president, declaring June 12th as Democracy Day in Nigeria. And there's been so much happening within this past few days, with the Senate inaugurated, and so many things happening, so many drama here and there. But the one that really catches our attention today is June 12th and the Democracy Day. It's supposed to be a day that we celebrate democracy in Nigeria, but the question is, should we be celebrating or mourning? Is there reason to be celebrating? Did we learn any lessons from June 12th? If we're commemorating June 12th with the Democracy Day proclamation, have we learned our lessons, or are we still doing the same things that led to June 12th? I have someone in the studio who was not a participant of the 1994 June 12th, but it's not all about. It's not just talking about it, June 12th, and then about what happened that day, but the relevance of it today and what it means for people who are of this generation. Are they feeling the impact? So, with us today, joining us via WhatsApp, is someone who is most appropriate to be. He's going to join us very soon. He's most appropriate to be talking about this thing because he is a commentator on political issues. He is an activist. He's someone who participated very, very strongly in the past, in just the concluded election. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the one and only Comrade Eze Izuchukwu Phillips. Comrade Phillips, how are you?
My greetings, everybody. Comrade, I hear you.
Well done.
Okay, thank you for having me, worship.
Yeah. Comrade Phillips, today is June 12th. It's been declared Democracy Day. Tell me, what is the mood in Nigeria? Are people celebrating? Are people very excited? Tell me, just explain the mood from, first of all, where you're located. Tell us where you're located, and then tell us what is the mood around where you are located in Nigeria.
I am in Enugu, Nigeria. I think the people who are at home because they are public workers and they come at home. But when it comes to that's a story for another day.
Okay, tell us the situation there in Enugu.
Over here in Enugu, nobody's reporting anything. No, we are just at home waiting for the for the holiday to come and go. And we are mandated to be at home.
Why are you not celebrating?
As a Nigerian, okay, truthfully, today should be MKO Abiola's day, as it meant to be. I think so. What happened that June 12th event was it happened to be very remarkable in Nigerian democracy. I think that happened to be like once in the life of Nigerians that they come out in mass and supported one person. They voted a man of their choice. But this is the way some historians will put it. They will say this is an aborted republic, an aborted democracy. Is a democracy not allowed to see the light of the day. And when you now look at it from that 1993, 1998, we had election. But none of the election we have represents what we had in that 1994. So right now, you find out that what happens right now is like the big, so-called big parties forcing themselves on the masses. All of us experimented what happened during the last election, when it was all about vote buying, where politicians are not after delivering their manifesto, they are not after trying to convince the masses of what they have for them. Their blueprints, all they care about is election. You see politicians sharing money here and there to buy people's votes, and people themselves did not even turn out en masse to vote. Both of us should be surprised when they were calling the result and we are hearing millions of voters that came and voted, and we ask ourselves, where did these votes come from? Now, coming to what MKO Abiola represents that we are celebrating, are we celebrating this day because we have been able to, our government have been able to implement the promises or the framework of MKO Abiola? MKO Abiola is a movement, is an ideology. Now, we should ask ourselves, is there any Nigerian child that is still finding it difficult to train himself, or maybe his family training from university or from secondary school down to university? If there are such people, if Nigerian students still study on empty stomach, then I don't think these people are celebrating. I think they are crying. So we are not celebrating. This set of people are not celebrating. Now, what are we celebrating? Are we celebrating infrastructure that MKO Abiola represents? Are people still dying of motor accidents, unpreventable motor accidents because of bad roads? I think when we remember what MKO Abiola promised and our inability to make it come to reality, we should be crying as a people.
Thank you, Phillips. Phillips, when the government announced that they were going to declare June 12th as the Democracy Day, I remember vividly that Omoyele Sowore had made that announcement, and then shortly after, the federal government just rushed and stole that idea practically. Do you suspect that the federal government did this rebranding or changing of the dates with good intention, or what do you think it was just a political move that they made?
The truth is, no Nigeria. I've not seen a Nigeria where a Nigerian, I mean a patriotic Nigerian. None of these presidents have represented Nigerian dream, if there is Nigerian dream. Now, we all know, we saw the movement. Sowore was on the media. Sowore was not hiding his intentions, his goodwill for the people, So the idea of Mr. President making June 12th or declaring June 12th is actually a kind of, let's just say, it's totally convenient for him, or it is a kind of a way of trying to buy especially those people who believe in the dreams of MKO Abiola, trying to kind of buy into their side. Do you understand? And that also, we all remember what Wole Soyinka told him. Wole Soyinka was like, why is it now that we are remembering election is around the corner, and here are we talking about MKO Abiola and his memorial? So it for me, I would say it's not this thing. There is no. The president has a ulterior motive, and I think he got his motive, which is lobbying the West. Yeah, lobbying the West and every other person who loves MKO Abiola.
Okay. I guess he did that, and then as compensation, the national stadium has also named after MKO Abiola. Let me read one of the comments we have on our Facebook feed. Nancy here says that I spoke to somebody today, and he said to me, "Today is Democracy Day. Banks and shops and schools are closed for what? MKO, we Nigerians need to set our priorities straight." Yes, Dr. Chidi, it is a political move, and the current guy just said it. We have no patriotic Nigerian that is worth celebrating, not MKO Abiola. That's a view from one of those people watching us. Well, do you think that other people deserve to be acknowledged in this celebration of June 12? People like maybe the chief returning officer, the INEC chairman then, Professor Humphrey Mosu, whom could have just under intimidation, because that was the military government then with guns and everything, and I hear he was ordered not to announce that election, but he, in spite of all that pressure, he went ahead and he announced the election. Do you think that he should be considered also a hero when you mention June 12th?
You know, seriously, the truth is that I don't like sounding like this, because when I sound like this, people will say, okay, maybe because he's Igbo, but I always see a situation where there may be a kind of a conspiracy to silence the voice of an Igbo man, and it's unfortunate. It's true. Abiola June 12th is actually a kind of is broad. There are many actors who took part in that situation. On the day the was giving award, yes, and I asked myself why. Why would they award him? But this is a man who could not. This is a man who could not respect democracy. This is the real enemy of democracy being celebrated. Now, the man who took the bull by the horn, someone like Humphrey Mosu, it was a very dicey situation for him. When the military, they were on everybody who were a kind of seen and siding for MKO Abiola, but he took his chances. It was a risky situation, but he played a very selfless service to this nation. So not mentioning the likes of the likes of the then commissioner of the electoral commission, the chairman of the electoral commission of them, is a great disservice to not only the democracy itself, but to every Nigerian child.
I thought so too, because I told myself, going by the chairman of the past election, the just concluded Nigerian election, if you compare what he did and how there were so many fake results, so many inconclusive results, so many figures that were blown out of proportion, so many cases of vote buying, all the fraud that we saw in the last election, he still went ahead and declared winners in places where elections were not even conducted. In fact, 2019 election has been declared as the worst so far in Nigeria. And yet, when we talk about June 12, we talk about it as I mean, when we talk about the 1994 elections, we talk about it as the most credible election that Nigeria has conducted. I don't think it was fair for.
The only credible election we have ever had.
Okay,
the
so
only credible
election, and so he did he did a very good job, and I think the government should consider mentioning Humphrey Mosu whenever they talk about that election. Okay, that's beside the point. Right now, almost every Nigerian you talk about is worried about the insecurity in Nigeria. And also, okay, let me bring you to the House. With the Senate that was just inaugurated, I think that the whole thing, the Senate is supposed to be an arm of the government that is meant to check the excesses of the executive. Okay. Now, when you have but when you have this arm of government being controlled and determined, because there was a picture of the new president of the Senate, bowing down to shake the president, and people said, no, that's just a shake of respect, show of respect. But this is somebody that you are going to be putting on his toes. This is somebody that when you summon him to your house, he will be afraid. Do you think there is hope that our Senate will be able to check the executive, or do you think they are all going to be like brothers in arms, and then it's going to be a one-party thing happening? Because already by mere constitution of those in the House, in the leadership of the House, is already looking like a one-party thing.
Ideally, the legislative arm and the executive arm should watch dogs to each other. The legislature and the judiciary, the legislature and the executive, none should be like the president is like the head of the president of the Senate is the head of the Senate. The Speaker of the House of Representatives should be the head of the House of Representatives. And now, even in the judiciary, none of them should see either of them as above the other. So now, that thing that happened is actually a show that, number one, we're going to be having a group of people who don't know their role. If a Senate president knows that I am a Senate president and my office is independent of the office of the president, and my salary is not coming from him, my allowances is not coming from him, I am there to represent the mandate of the people. Why would he start bowing for him? So it's already a show that he is not loyal to Nigerian people. He is going to be loyal to the president, who may be in one way or the other owing to the point as the late brought him to becoming the Senate president. Is it not a disrespect to Nigerian democracy? That man should be in jail right now. That man should be in one prison or just arrest him very well. But look at him. I like the current deputy Senate president.
Oh yes.
So you see, that nothing ever works in Nigeria.
All right, Mr. Phillips, what is your advice to young people who they did not experience June 12th, but they are living in Nigeria right now? They are the ones facing the harsh conditions in Nigeria, and a lot of them are not politically active. A lot of them, when they see us talk politics. They think we are wasting our time. They think we are boring. They think we are dry. They just want to talk about Big Brother. They want to Snapchat. They want to take a picture and post on Instagram. Maybe they are not yet feeling the heat of bad government. But what do you want to tell them?
I think every Nigerian even the sons and daughters of these governors and senators, all of them, everybody in one way or the other, because if Nigeria is good, it's good for all. If you are in a working system, you know you are in a working system. The insecurity we experiment in Nigeria, the son of a governor or even a commissioner to go out without a security detail. Nigeria is ours. And think of leaving this Nigeria for the few who have managed great power. And let's stop selling our votes during the election. We have to understand that no country has ever made it to where they are by having the electorate sell their votes, by having electorates who don't have conscience, by having electorates who don't think about posterity, who don't even think about themselves, who don't even think about post-election activities or post-election future. Why vote? Why casting their votes? So we should know that every 4 years, this periodic election we're having is an opportunity to give ourselves the kind of Nigeria we want. And the power belongs to the people. And the only time the people have this power is always, the people can always protest, the people can always do everything. But the best moment to protest is during election. It's during election. But I think we can still have the June 12th. We cannot lose. We want an election, Nigeria needs election, that Nigerians will win. So far, we are still celebrating we are still allowing ourselves to choose between the devil and the red blue sea. Where there is an innocent person like Comorade Shiwari, we cannot make any headway.
Anyway, thank you so much, Phillips. Thank you so much, Eze Izuchukwu Phillips. Yeah, thank you for coming on. Sorry about the inconsistent network. That is the situation we find back home. It happens sometimes when I call other places, but I can tell you Nigeria's own is so frustrating. But thank you so much for standing through all that frustration and speaking to us today on Worship Media as we continue to discuss June 12th. I will hope to call you at another time to talk about other hard political issues in our country because they never seem to stop, okay? All right. Bye-bye now. Thank you so much. That has been Eze Izuchukwu Phillips. He was talking to us from Enugu, Nigeria. What we try to do is to reach out to people who are in the middle of every breaking news to get their perspective to things. We have spoken to a lot of people, and what we can conclude is that the situation is not good. If you still think that, it's not as bad as you say it is, come on, it's not that bad. Well, you know what? You're right. It's not that bad. It's actually worse. That's the truth. It's not as bad as we make it. It's worse than we make it. Okay, I got up to 3 different requests of people asking me to contribute money towards somebody who has been kidnapped. Kidnapped by Fulani people. It is clearly Fulani people that kidnap them. I see what is frustrating to me is that I continued to read in the papers, and which paper was that I read, and it was telling me of how gang men kidnapped, did I say kidnapped a woman and a daughter, and they're still calling them gang men, just trying to toy with the situation at hand. The police arrested a couple of people on Kaduna Road and displayed so many bullets, displayed so many guns. I'm like, are you guys kidding me? That's just a joke. So what, in fact, displaying those bullets should get us all more worried, because if you're just displaying what you caught on Kaduna Abuja Road, how about Abuja Macaulay Road? How about Abuja Nsukka Road? How about other roads? How about Enugu Onitsha Road? How about Lagos Ibadan Road? So many places where this thing is happening. There is the insecurity in Nigeria, the level of insecurity, it is so high. When June 12 was annulled, after MKO Abiola won the elections, just like the last speaker said, are we implementing what it stood for? If the government, and even up to today, if the government really appreciate, what I would like to see is this, that the government looks back and says, you know what, MKO Abiola was robbed of his mandate. You know what, we want to go back and learn from what he stood for. Let us bring his manifesto, because this is an opportunity that we lost, and let us see the things that he tried to do, and let us implement it. The most you can do for a man in his absence, when he's dead and gone, is to continue his legacy. Okay? Naming a football pitch after Abiola, naming a street, even naming the whole Nigeria after Abiola, to me, yes, it might be an honor, but what does Murtala Muhammad Airport do to Murtala Muhammad's family, other than, okay, it's a means of immortalizing their family's name, which is good for every family. But if he stood for something and you go ahead and you don't even implement or you don't practice what that person stood for, and you just, it's almost like insulting, and people don't understand why I feel like this. When you just name a place against after MKO Abiola, just to appease people from the western part of Nigeria, just to score a political point, but in your actions you are doing things that are direct opposite of what that person believes in. That's almost like an insult on that person's memory, or what they stood for. So we would like to see the government do or implement programs that Abiola wanted to implement as a way of honoring him. If you do the things that he stood for, trust me, we will all be celebrating more than mourning. So that is just the way things work in Nigeria sometimes. We always got our whole thinking process upside down. We just got things the other way around. But I'm so grateful to Eze Phillips, who spoke to us today, and all those of you who spoke to us off camera. We want to thank all of you. We want to thank those of you that are actually watching right now for all your support. We'll continue to bring you issues that are in the front burner. We'll continue to discuss it. We'll continue to enlighten. We'll continue to create awareness, because Nigeria, it's our country. When I talk about Nigeria being our country, I talk about the landmass. You know, whoever is in Nigeria, it's our duty to continue to defend the people and the aspirations of the people, their future and their dreams, those people that are contained inside that geographic region. And from all of us here in Worship Media Toronto, Chidi and Erica signing out. Thank you for watching.